Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another weekly wrap-up. My name is Jeremy Cronemeyer. I'm Operations Manager for Wickham Financial Group, and I have Graham Wickham here, President and CEO of Wickham Financial and Insurance Services. Graham, what happened in the markets last week?
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. And thanks for our listeners jumping on the call. If we just look at the U.S. markets, they were up modestly. We saw the Nasdaq up about 1%. The S&P 500 was up just over 0.5%. But the Russell 2000, that's that small cap area, that was pretty flat. What were the leaders? The cyclical sector and basic materials, they basically led the gains. If we look at commodities, they're a pretty mixed bag. We did see oil take a pretty big drop, down about 4%. Due to some Saudi Arabia production plans, while on the flip side of that, we did see gold futures that was up about 1%. If we look at the U.S. economy, we did see the inflation continue to trend lower with the PCE index up just about 0.1% in August. We did see the Q2 GDP growth that was about 3%. And I think we're expecting the Q3 estimates to be pretty similar. On the downside, we did see consumer confidence fall a bit based off some job market concerns. Now, the housing market, that's slightly improved with pending home sales, probably because of those rates coming down that the Fed just did. But the new home sales were still affected by high prices and maybe some low inventory that were out there. Now, if we go overseas, we did see Japan, their yen did strengthen. We did see the Nikkei 225 futures fall about 4.5% after a new prime minister came in. Australia, no real signal that they're going to continue to lower interest rates in the near term. Over in Europe, we did see some business activity contract a good bit unexpectedly, primarily in France. And China unveiled its largest stimulus package since the pandemic. Now, that boosted their market to up over 20%. Absolutely huge rally over there, supporting global stocks, the EM, that emerging market area, just helping everyone, with that boost. Now, if we look at this week, we're going to be looking at some labor data. That's going to be coming out Friday. That's going to be the non-farm payrolls. And that's going to give the market some clues, some hints, maybe the Fed some hints and clues on how much more, how quick are they going to lower interest rates as we approach the end of the year here. China, their PMI report will be coming out Sunday evening. It could impact some trading. We'll see the Federal Reserve. They're going to be out and about. Federal Chairman Powell will be talking a bit in a couple different appearances around town. Over in kind of wrapping up the United States, we'll be looking at the ISM manufacturing survey, the PMI, the manufacturing orders. And if we go over overseas again, we'll be looking at Germany coming out with their CPI number. And then OPEC meeting will come out Wednesday, kind of giving us some ideas on what they're going to do with output, restricting, increasing, so on and so forth. Jeremy?
Got it. Well, we appreciate it, Graham. I had a question for you. Typically, October is not usually the best for the markets in general. What do you see kind of being the first day of the month here? What do you kind of see going forward?
Yeah, we could get a bit of the same. I wouldn't be surprised to get a little weakness. We didn't get any real weakness in September. We closed out pretty strong. I think that was our first positive in 5 years. Doesn't mean we couldn't have a positive October too, because we got the Fed lowering interest rates, not into a recession, and that's very good for the stock market, bond market, so on and so forth. But we do have election coming up, and that always just throws a question mark in terms of maybe some short-term volatility. So we'll have to wait and see.
Gotcha. Well, and then to our listeners, we also will be coming out. We are going to be doing our quarterly webinar here. Graham's going to be talking about the political and the election coming up and the Fed and all that stuff. So be on the lookout for that in your emails or on social media. And we hope you get to watch that. And we'll see you next week on the weekly wrap up.
All right. Take care.